What's good, y'all? It's your boy Choji. Super chill. I'm sick, under the weather, trying to recover. Just vibing out on my weekend. Here, we got this nice Timu neck massager. It's trash, don't buy it. I just still have it because I got my refund and they didn't ask me to send it back. So, whatever. But watching here a stream of PLAQUEBOY Max, and it's bringing certain things into the light. Like right now, there's a bunch of controversy over academics comments in terms of the live stream to Noor and the grooming allegations, right? And he's been banned from Twitch for this. But as Plaque was talking about this, one of his random fans, followers, were I guess trolling, or I don't know if they're trolling or if they really support, but they gave him $1. And the message said, yo, Not Like Us is gonna hit so proper during the Super Bowl. And I thought, yo, something is really going on. The medium has always been the message. And to me, in a world where you let go of the negative and positive, just it existing. So, for instance, when they talk about manifestation, they say, don't go around saying, I don't want to get hit by a car. And every day is like, I hope I don't get hit by a car. Because they're saying the fact that you keep saying hit by a car, you're going to manifest yourself still getting hit by a car. So the reality is you're supposed to focus on, oh, I hope I get to work safe. Oh, I hope I get to my destination safely. I see myself getting to my destination directly without issue. That's what I'm focusing on. I'm not focusing on not getting into a car crash. I'm not focusing on avoiding negativity. So now let's extrapolate that point. These individuals have been making statements that the media have been running with, social media, actual media, right? Actual news media have been running with some of these points. Because we got Diddy, got the Drake beef, we got the academic situation, we got still the lingering effects of Pizzagate, the lingering effects of Weinstein, Epstein, right? And we don't even have conclusion on those situations yet. Why don't we have conclusions on the actual cases, on actual situations, right? Well, Diddy, I guess we'll figure the Diddy situation out eventually. But on real cases, and don't mind this, I was bending over to pick up and clean up, and I literally slapped my head on my desk, on the corner of my desk. It was like, it's horrible. It was like, I looked like I had like a, like the middle of the Benz emblem on my forehead, just without the circle. Anyway, so why do they think? That was what I was saying, right? Yeah. Why do they think that we should run behind the celebrities in the hailstorm of this same content, but the actual culprits and people who are in litigation for this, the energy is not as such. And I'm not saying that the energy should be as such. I'm just kind of noticing something interesting, right? Because now the comment said, yo, Not Like Us is going to hit so crazy. But I'm like, we've already exposed that Kendrick himself is surrounded by abusers. That Dr. Dre is a convicted abuser. So how could it still hit the same? Because the medium is the message. And what they're actually doing as a system, all sides, the pros, the cons, the good guys, the bad guys, they are participating in this soft acceptance and disclosure of eliminating age gap, of eliminating the culture of it. Because you have to think about this. As dissenters go online and create all this hype around their brand, dissenting on the content, dissenting on the topic, that is all that happens. the descent. Offline in real life, these individuals are still making millions of dollars, are still moving around doing whatever they want. So maybe one of their platforms get taken down, they launch another one. All the followers go to that one. They leave from one network to another, right? People get fired from jobs. They don't lose their credibility. They just move to another network or launch their own business situation. Especially when it comes to this grooming stuff. I've never really seen anyone get in trouble for this. Who do we know who's gotten in trouble for this kind of behaviors, for these kinds of things? Epstein, Weinstein are like ringleaders. And we still don't even have their list. Well, we have their list, but it's not like ratified, spoken about by the media. But yet everybody's talking about academics, busting a joke with a 15-year-old kid. Yes, out of order. But no way should that take the airwaves of our attention in comparison to the fact that there's still people on that list that we haven't ratified if they really are on the list or not. When there's politicians, ex-politicians, media personnel, athletes. I don't give a fuck about Ack and what he said in streamer culture. Streamer culture is very weird, okay? From time. White kids on there, nigger, 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 right? They're not really racist. This is where they're free to just say shit. My little brother, he's a very, very good soul. Loving person. Random people have come up to me and told me great things about what my brother did to them and have done for them in situations. But this guy, when he's on Fortnite or whatever, back when he was younger, and I would always hear, yo, you motherfucker, yo, this bullshit, yo. And we don't swear. Our family is Christian. We don't swear. But this outlet, and ultimately, if you come from internet culture, you remember before there was so much money on here, it was the Wild Wild West where people just come and say whatever they want. So I think what's happening is folks is dialing down on Ack, who made a mistake, said something out of pocket, but not out of pocket in context of the entire internet, just out of pocket for his brand at this point in time of his career to another brand that is underage. If you said that to a grown man, that grown man could have still been uncomfortable, but no one would have said anything because there's no age boundary. But when it comes to two brands in the entertainment sphere, it kind of is like that. And it's a weird situation, right? Because we see little girls on stage dancing like big women when it comes to entertainment. We see little boys doing all kinds of things, kissing girls on TV in front of a set of director and cut and scene. Grown adults, all right, kiss. Let's do that again. Let's do that kiss again. That's literally grooming. That is literally grooming. What we're talking about here is just our essence and belief of grooming. But watching a show where kids are kissing each other on TV for my entertainment or whatever the case may be, that's actually grooming. And then we see the real results of what Hollywood does to the minds of these young people, the Disneys and the Nickelodeons, right? With the Britneys and the Justins we see what happens in real time. So obviously, I don't want Noor to be put in situations like that. I'm more on Noor's side than Ack's side. But I feel the overreaction. Yeah, it's because he has a lot of enemies right now. And the entire game is kind of split in half, where we have the folks who are saying we're us and they're not like us, right? We have that whole thing going on. But we know that's fake. That both sides have evil on it. Both sides have good. That even if someone who's evil has good in them, and the same person who you think is good has some evil too. There's nobody who's all good or all evil, like how the Bible tries to create this black-white dichotomy where everybody is they're evil, we're the good ones. Self-righteousness never wins and never works out for anybody. I'm a keep it a buck. Self-righteousness is what MLK had. And MLK, in his last final breaths, was like, I just integrated my people into a burning home. So all that self-righteousness against Malcolm X's nonviolent approach, nonviolence, it was for nothing. You should have got violent. Should have, might as well. What's the difference? At least you would have got and raised hell, got some justice for the ill treatment that was going on in that era. So that's all I'm saying. Like, you got to be real. You got to keep it real. The situation is not pretty. The situation is not pretty. Like, I shouldn't have said what he said. I don't go around saying those kind of things to young people, right? But I don't act and point out and say I'm self-righteous when I know I have other areas that I could have been pointed to. Like, you know, if my laundry ever gets exposed, there's probably something there that the community could say, well, that's out of order. You shouldn't be doing that. Like, for instance, I talk to women pretty harsh in my life I've had. I've talked to girlfriends or exes or whatever. I've talked to them pretty harsh. I'm going to be honest. And if there was ever a clip that came out in terms of an argument, actually, look out for the reset, my new album coming out. But yeah, if there's ever a clip on there, folks not gonna be like, yo, G, you're perfect, you're an angel. They're gonna be like, G, I don't know, you really shouldn't have said that to her. I think you were kind of, you know what I mean? Because we expect men, even when it comes to women, to take the high road, to be the bigger man. Like, she go low, I'm gonna go high. Not she go low, I go lower, right? But at that time, I was feeling immature. I was on an immature vibe. Plus, my ex was older than me. I'm talking about something specific. But check it out. Should I? Yeah, okay. So I'm talking about the clip from off the album. So check it out. I was going to leave it ambiguous, but you might as well just understand. The Reset is an album I've been working on for the past 5 years. Longer. And it's about to drop. So I just want everybody to understand that these contexts, the things I'm speaking to, there's real context to it. I'm not just like saying things because it sounds good to say. But I do think this academic situation being blown out of proportion. If I haven't seen this kind of virality and excitement about real criminal cases that have not been blown a little, why do we care about this? Like, why does the fact that, okay, Meat Mill probably hyping it up, other people who don't like act probably hyping it up, but should they be so quick to hype it up? Are they righteous enough to be the ones to point the finger? Will their names ever not show up on a list for something else? Or have they not ever committed anything that's evil or heinous? Especially Meek Mill rolling with gangsters. What happens when the gangster who went to shoot up a block for a homie missed and hit a kid? Do we care and cry then? When kids are accidentally killed during drive-bys? No, we don't. I think this is just part of street life. So we have this very, very weird energy about what it means to care about the kids. There's homelessness. Children are the #1 population in terms of going to bed hungry. And we don't make sure we ensure all children around the world are fed. We only care about specific groups of children. So I'm not gonna really run with this because we don't hold it across the board. I actually feel that ageism is the last ism that we're fighting. That the fact that young people are put in very vulnerable situations and are forced to grow up in a situation, in a scenario that is not really built for them. So their minds have to basically mutate in the span of their formative years just in order to arrive at some form of normalcy in their own life, in their own mind, in their own social scenarios and networks. They got to be greedy, money hungry, envious, jealous. These are things they have to take on in order to be seen as a normal person in society, right? So, and way more other things than this too, way more. So, with that said, and as I wrap this up, the hype is unnecessary. Dissent, right? Dissent upon what he said. And I think it's technically the fact he doubled down and saying, yo, you guys is hyping up over this. This is nothing. But he's right. We are hyping up over nothing. If nobody focused on it, we wouldn't care. And that's how the internet has become. Internet's become this thing where it's like you don't even care about something, but just because bloggers and other people care about it, you think you should. And that's such a horrible way to think. That's such a horrible way to be. I don't care if it's important topics, unimportant topics. The idea of valuing something just because media places it in front of you needs to die. That needs to die. That has to end. Algorithms are too strong for us to still have that meds of thinking, okay, it was put in front of me. It must be important. It has a lot of views. It must be the talk. No, it just has a lot of money behind it. That's it. A lot of money. Someone who really hates act could say, you know what? This is perfect. Let's put $1 million behind all content that's dissenting on act. Because we need to crush him. Who knows if it's someone who's investing in PLAQUEBOY Max. And they're like, you know what? We need to get a new streamer who's going to be the music streamer. And we're tired of academics. We want someone who's more young, hip with the young people, and Ak is getting older. Boom, boom, let's get him out of here. Because it was on a PLAQUEBOY stream too. It was on PLAQUEBOY Max's stream where academic was getting zesty, right? And talking to the young person, Noor, out of pocket. So technically, aren't they all eggs in the same basket? Because we're focusing on Ak, but if you actually watch the clip, Ak did say some zesty stuff, but it's the other streamers who pushed it to some levels of extreme. I don't know who their names are, and that's the point. The point is when you don't know who the streamer is, you end up blaming everything towards the biggest streamer, which is Ak. So Ak is basically taking the brunt for even words that he didn't say. And I think that's why he's acting up saying, yo, this is unnecessary. You guys are hyping up over nothing. All I said was this. But it's like, no, but you also witnessed other things being said to more extremes. And you didn't say, okay, all right, guys, let's chill with it. Let's chill. Let's chill. Everyone laughed. So everyone's thinking, oh, yeah, you didn't say it. And maybe you would have never said it. But because you laughed along with it, you agree with the context of it. And thus you deserve to be crucified. Which is, I guess, this is the world we live in. But if you take it out of context, you're going to be ready. You should be ready to crucify a bunch of people. That's all I'm saying. If you're going to take this out of context to crucify that guy, yo, there's a lot of folks around us that we need to start crucifying. And I'm saying I might be one of them in terms of speech against women. Because I'm going to be honest, this feminism movement has gone too far. I'm a hardworking man. I cuss anybody. But it always seems to be women who feel that they can disrespect me. And it always seems to be the women I'm sleeping with. Right? So men don't disrespect me because they know it's going to get bringle. Right? It's straightforward. Like, we're not going to do that to each other. Right? It's going to get bringle. Very bringle. But, women, for some reason, feel like, okay, well, I have the police on my side, I have this and I have that, but the police have to be called. Right? So it's like, now I have to restrain myself off of disrespectful words and disrespectful statements and actions, behaviors, and all kinds of things that a man would never do. Man would never do. Man won't best friends. Like, my most comfortable best friends as guys will never do things or say things like that on our worst. I've had some pretty ugly arguments with some of my best friends where I've walked out on them, I left and drove off and kind of thing. But we never said anything where it's like, yo, it's about to get like that. No, we just say stuff to like maybe make us not want to talk to each other for a bit. But women will say things to make you want to like punch her. Why? I don't understand that. And that's like normal and regular and okay. And it's not okay in the opposite. That's what I'm saying. Because I know I can't hit her. So what I'm going to do is say things that hit as hard. And that's still not acceptable. Even though the equality of women being able to speak down on men is acceptable. But the equality of men being able to speak just as negatively back on her. Maybe in the sensationalized podcast, right? The whatever podcast or the Fit, Fresh and Fit podcast, right? Where these moments, and even Kevin Samuels, when these moments are videotaped and positioned as entertainment. But if it's real life, clipped, and then posted online, that's a different connotation. So it's interesting because, like I said, check out my album. I'm doing some self-reflecting in that project, but there is a clip on there where I'm getting pretty bringo vocally with a chick, and context, it was my birthday, so I was angry that I'm being talked to and spoken to and treated like this on my birthday. But generally, I don't speak to women like that. Generally, I'm very respectful, and I find it weird that it's only when they start having sex with you that they feel that the disrespect is warranted. And other scenarios, I just generally don't like disrespect. You know, even on my job with the children, if they disrespect, they get kicked out the room or whatever the case may be, taken off the computers. The system, like there's consequences to disrespecting the leader in the space. So, all that to say, if we come to a place now where it's time to start canceling everyone, I expect to be canceled. I don't think that I'm gonna be ignored because maybe the content I have on my page was said when I wasn't as mature or whatever. I have a bunch of videos here that I've said things when I was sober, when I was lit, when I was drunk, when I've made videos on this page that are, I think some of them over 10 years old. Like, at this point, it would have to be, right? 20. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. I'd have to double check, but I think this. Let's see right now. Let's just find out for ourselves. Trilogy. Started the Trilogy page. Let's see. I started the Trilogy page. Where's the info? Where's the info about this page? God damn. Okay, I'm about to not care soon. But the oldest video is 9 years ago. Okay, so we're about 10 years. So I started this channel about 9 years ago. And the first video is me naked in a bathtub doing the Bathe for Change challenge, which failed horribly. But introduced me to some interesting people who aligned with my vision, aligned with my mission, and we're here still. But all that to say, I don't think there's anything on here that could ever get me like canceled. But I wouldn't be surprised because I say some wild shit just for keeping it trail. Anyways, peace.